So most people are not even interested in knowing how Africa is and what goes on there. All they see is poverty. All they see is animals and wild animals. Actually, they don't know. They don't think that we are developed, or we can be able to, we are educated, you know. So if you've watched my videos, you know that I came from Kenya to America, and there's a lot I've learned since I've been here. Now, let me tell you, most people don't know much about Africa. That is what I've learned. The first thing that I've learned is that most Americans think Africa is a continent. Can you imagine? So some people think that we are one continent and we also have one president, because somebody was asking me, who is the president of Africa? And I was like, no. Like, we are so many countries in Africa, 50 something countries. So when somebody asks you, who is the president of Africa? You're like, what? It's like somebody asking you, who is the president of South and North America, you know? So, but I told them Africa is not like America, where we have different states and then we are governed by one president. In Africa, it's like different countries with their own rules and different presidents. So that is one thing I learned. They don't know that we are different countries, different languages, different rules, and we are just not one country. It's just a continent with different countries. I also think we speak the same language. Like, I can hear what a Nigerian is speaking, I can hear what a Ugandan is speaking. And actually, I had to explain to some that our country has 47 languages, almost 40 something languages. And in those languages, we all speak different. Some languages are similar, but some languages you cannot even understand what they're saying. So that is one thing. They think we all speak the same language and we don't know English. So one person asked me, where did you learn your English? Did you learn it in America? And I was like, no, we are taught English in our country. It's an official language. And they were like surprised. They were like, people speak English in Africa? Actually, they will always say in Africa. They don't know about different countries. They just say, and I had to explain to them, some countries, they have their French as their official language. Some countries have, you know, other languages, Portuguese as their language, you know, and all that. So they think we speak the same language, but it is a learning process. I mean, the media has done so much damage. They only show the worst part about Africa, the worst things about Africa. So most people are not even interested in knowing how Africa is and what goes on there. All they see is poverty. All they see is animals and wild animals. Actually, they don't know. They don't think that we are developed, or we can be able to, we are educated, you know. That's so sad. I mean, it's so sad. And another thing, somebody asked me, do people live in the forest? Like, are there animals around? You know, sometimes you feel like getting rude and just saying, yeah, I live with a lion. You know, I just walk out there, I say, hi lion, how are you? And we just eat with lions and all the wild animals. I mean, sometimes I feel, can't you Google? Why is the Google there? But they think that wild animals are around us and we live like in forests. We don't even have buildings. Like, we live in this old, yeah, there are people who live in those sides of the traditional part like that. But there are people who live, we have modern structures. They don't think we have modern structures. So there's a lot of misconception about everything. So one weird question that I got was, somebody asked me, like, how did you get to America? And I was like, okay, do people, why are you asking me that question? People fly, like, everybody comes with we book a flight. And I was, you know, sometimes you feel like being arrogant when people ask you that, and sometimes I'm just thinking, maybe they really don't know. Maybe they really don't know. Because I'm like, okay, I walked from Africa to here, and it took me so many days. Now that is in my thoughts, that is what I want to say, but they think that we don't have modern means of transport, like people still use maybe animals, I don't know, or people walk. I think some people see the way we run, and the athletes, and they win, and they think that we can run and just come all the way to America. I don't know. I think now that we have this migrant situation, and they are seeing so many people coming into America, walking, like traveling through the sea and all that. I don't know, maybe that is what makes people think that we don't have flights, and people just walk over for many days and find themselves here. So, and you have to educate them and tell them about, yeah, we do have cars, we have different types of cars, and I think they are interested in what type of cars we have. And we have Toyota, the models that are there. So those are things that you have to explain to them. Now, I think by now, most of the things that are found in these first world countries, developed countries, are still found in third world countries. In third world countries, actually, it's just we have different modes of transport. We have even a motorcycle, as a way of transport. But here we don't have that. Actually, most Africans, like Black Americans, think that we all know how to make our hair. Like I think a friend of mine made my hair, but she was an African American. And then this person asked me, like, did you make your hair? And I said, no, all Africans know how to make their hair. And I was like, no, not everyone. There are many people who know how to make their hair. There are many salons there back home, but not everyone knows how to make their hair. So I'm one of those people who don't know how to braid my hair. I have to go to someone to do it, because that is what I used to do back home. So there's this conception that every African knows how to braid and they know how to make their hair. I don't blame them, because there are many people talented who are very good at doing that. And even back home, like those people who come here, there are so many salons that make hair and braid, and most of the people doing that are from Africa. They're very good at it. Just the same way people believe that all Americans are rich, like everybody's rich. So there's that kind of thing. If you're married to, let's say you're an African married to a white guy, they will always think that the white guy is rich. Back home, they think the same way. Any person from the West, and if you marry a white man, they think the white man is rich. So even here, they think the same way. It's not only back home. So they'll think that, is he rich? I'm thinking, not everyone is rich. Some people marry for love. Like, you just love the person genuinely. They treat you well. They respect you. And they're just average. They are not rich at all. But there's that misconception. People think that you marry them because they are rich and they are able to come there because they are rich. But no, that's not always the case. Mainly the case is, it depends also with how you understand each other, how you treat each other, what interest both of you have. So there's that kind of thing. They think that might be the reason why both of you are married. That's why he's able to get you here and all that, because they know Africa is very far, and they don't know the different countries, that different countries, the mileage is also different. One person asked me, do you have pizza? Like, did you eat pizza here for the first time? So they don't know, like, whether we have pizza. These fast foods, we don't have as many fast foods like they have here in America, but most of them are there. Like, we have Pizza Inn, Domino's, they're all there. And you can still taste pizza even when you're back home. You can still find these things, the chicken and all these marinated things. They are all there. The burgers are there. So it's just that here in America, there's variety compared back home, but we still have KFC, we still have Burger Inn, we still have Pizza Inn, we still have Domino's, you know, all those kind of things. We still have those kind of restaurants. But they think coming here was the first time that you have to taste pizza and actually have to eat, you know, those fast food. And because back home we eat more organic, and they are afraid to taste food made by us because they don't know how we make our food. I don't know why. Like, some people don't want even to try. I remember one time I cooked it is mandazi or something, and before they eat it, they tell you, what is it made of? They look at it like you, I don't know, you put some ingredients in it that they are not aware of, like something so weird, and they look at it like, what is it? And I'm telling them, it's like donut, it's just that it's different. They are afraid. I don't know, I don't know what they see, but there are those who are that way, they are afraid. But then there are those who are really interested, like they want to taste it, they want to find out how it is, whether it is nice, whether it has a lot of sugar. Actually, they love sugar, so when they taste our food, they think we don't put sugar, and they were asking me whether I can put honey on my mandazi or put some sugar, coat with some sugar to make it more sugary, because here people love sugar. So that is another thing. So if you cook your own stuff and it doesn't have a lot of sugar, they might ask you to put more sugar on it so that it tastes better to them, because that is what they're used to. So that is what I've found out about what most Americans think about Africans. There's still so much misconception. They don't think there are good places in Africa, but there are good places. Actually, touristic places, hotels in Africa are better than here. That is what I can say. Like, they offer a lot of services compared to here, but they don't know that. I wish people traveled more. I wish people learned more and Googled more and stopped believing what the media says. I'm actually happy that there are people who are now blogging and vlogging. They go to Africa from here, and they are showing and showcasing more about the countries in Africa that the media don't show. So that is good, because it has made most people to travel out. There are people even moving to stay in Africa now, because if you have money, life there is much better than here. The taxes are not as much as in America. Yeah, and if you own a house, you own a house. You don't need to pay insurance. You don't need to continue paying taxes on it, you know. So that is a good thing. And I feel like people should learn more. People should now start finding out about other places out of where they are, and don't depend on media. Google search, look for videos about those countries, and you'll find a lot that the media does not show you. The media will only report you the drama and the bad stuff, because that is how they make people watch. They will not show you the good side, because there's a way they want you to perceive certain places. So that is it. Tell me, what have you had, or if you've been here in America and you're an African, what are those misconceptions that people have told you about Africa, about your country? Yeah, specifically about your country. Do they know even your country? I think most people know Nigeria, but do they know? So I'd love to hear those comments.